Hello, my name is John Brink, and we are podcasting on the Brink from the capital of Northern British Columbia, Prince George. Now, for our international and national guests that are watching and following our podcast, Prince George is an amazing country. It's the northern part, the northern half, or the capital of the northern half of British Columbia. Nature is all around us, and if you ever plan to go to Canada, and you should, come to British Columbia, and if you come to British Columbia, go to the north. Prince George is the capital. You must not miss it. That being said, today I have a special guest, Sagar, Saxena.
Sagar.
Sagar.
Saxena.
Saxena.
Yes.
So sorry about that. So Sagar, tell me a little bit about your background. You're originally from India?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Were you born in the Punjab?
No. So I was born in the western part of India, which is called Rajasthan.
Okay.
It's more of a dry plain mixed with. It's a mix of multiple things. So there's different geographical geographies that are surrounding the community. So I was born in Udaipur, which is a city of lakes.
Okay.
And the city of lakes, why it's called city of lakes? Because we have 7 different lakes.
Wow.
Within the community of Udaipur, and 2 lakes outside the major lakes.
Now, India is a big country, mm-hmm. and it's the biggest democratically elected government in the world, right? Yes. How many people live in India?
Oh my goodness.
100, a billion, 2 or billion?
Easily. I lost the count. I don't have the right number with me, but yes, close to.
Second to China, right?
Second to China right away.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to surpass China's population as well soon.
Yeah, about 1.4 in China,
yes,
in China billion.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. So you never know, it's the amount of people also. Right now, what we are seeing is in India, it's there's more migration from the rural communities to the urban centers.
Okay.
Because of the jobs and the opportunities right now.
Right. Now, if I look at a lot of people here that come to BC or to Canada are from the Punjab.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the Punjab is the northern part of India?
Yes.
And then bordering on Pakistan?
Yeah, and yes. And then Punjab and Rajasthan borders with each other.
Okay.
So Rajasthan has a border with Punjab, and Rajasthan also has a border with Pakistan.
Okay.
As well.
And the capital of India is?
Delhi.
Delhi. It used to be called, what was the other name?
Delhi.
Yeah.
Delhi.
Delhi.
Yeah.
But they changed the name around.
It used to be called Delhi, but it was originally Delhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, do you say that surrounding India there are foreign workers coming into India?
Not foreign workers, but within the community.
Within India?
Within India, people are migrating from multiple places and multiple locations in search of jobs, in search of finding that home, which they can call home, because of every state, every province is unlike Canada. Every province has
its own
government, but it's all challenges as well, which comes with each province.
Yeah.
There's, as you must have heard, there's major corruptions happens in the country. So what happens with that is people, the common people, get always strangled. Yeah, they're strangled within that struggle of power, corruption, politics, which I grew up seeing a lot. My father was transferred. Basically, my father used to say they kicked me to a different location because I said no to taking the bribe. Yeah. So it's just I grew up moving with my mom and dad in multiple different areas.
So you were born there, mm-hmm. and then you were there until 2014?
No, so I was born
2009.
2007.
Okay.
So 2007, I decided to do my MBA from Cardiff University, which is in Wales.
In Wales, so you moved to England?
Yeah, I moved to Wales.
Yeah.
And then I did.
How long were you there?
So 2007 and 2000, I moved from Wales in 2009.
Okay.
I wanted to do something by myself. I was working with IKEA. I was trying different things. I wasn't satisfied in another country. So I left. Like one day I said, like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to create some business of my own. And then.
So you got, meaning going back, you went back to India?
India.
On your own?
On my own, yes.
Yeah, so where were your parents then? Because your parents are here now, right?
No, my parents are in Udaipur. So they were all in Udaipur itself.
But at one point they were here because your dad knows me?
No, that's my father-in-law.
Oh, your father-in-law?
Yeah, so
okay.
My wife's side of family, my grandpa-in-law, he moved here in 59.
Okay, so you're married here.
I married here, yes.
Yeah, and then and you came here when you went back to India, and then you came back here.
So I can I'll just do a quick story around that. It's a big long story. So so what happened is, like, when I moved back to India in 2009, I struggled. I tried to figure it out, different businesses. I went into metal scrap industry. I went into beauty care products. Didn't work out. Took so much loan, and then tried to figure it out. So what happened at the end of 2009, I started going into rural communities within Udaipur, like surrounding communities of Udaipur and Rajasthan, and realizing that there's so much opportunities, so much missed opportunities for businesses who are socially driven. So what I did, I created a business plan. I started talking to the government of India, Ministry of Forestry, who used to take care of the economic development activities as well. I started talking to my, I'll come to that thing. There was a V charity which was doing some work on ground. And I brought them in for women empowerment projects, fair trade, around the making sure, like, that whatever I'm doing, my business doing, is socially conscious and is all audited by a non-for-profit. After that, like, I brought in a university to create the products or the machines that we needed to manufacture the produce which we were going to manufacture. So going back to the core of the business, I was reaching out to the rural communities and the farmers, creating more of like a self-help groups, which are like the co-op version of farmers coming together and working for a bigger, larger good for the communities. So what we did, like, as a team of these four entities coming together, we created solar tunnel dryers. So those solar tunnel dryers didn't take any electricity. There was some electricity involved because we were doing the peeling and of ginger. So it was ginger and turmeric.
Right.
So we were asking the farmers, okay, why don't you grab your ginger and turmeric, bring it at the center of another farmer's house where the solar tunnel dryers is, and they process it.
Right.
So the women's were empowered and employed. And they had like kids running around everywhere. We had like people to take care of the kids as well. And what it was doing is basically it was creating its own sustainable economy within the rural, smaller villages.
Okay.
It was also taking away the middleman who was basically taking away all their profits from them, and also taking their lands because the farmers couldn't pay this broker enough money. So what we did, we jumped in, we said, no, we will together and we'll export it directly to the companies like Traditional Medicinals, Twinings. We were exporting to Germany and Poland as well, and US.
So does the company still exist today then?
No, it doesn't. I had to close the company down in 2014.
Why?
Because of some unforeseen circumstances. So when we came here, so my wife Shobha, Shobha Sharma is her name. When we moved, so we got married in 2011 here. I came to visit her. I met my wife. I got more close because of our the social enterprise I was talking about. She was a part of We Charity as a country director of India.
Yeah.
And that's how we started becoming closer. And then we decided that let's go visit Canada.
Okay.
Talk to your parents. And I get to see. So I came here to also do some business in Burnaby to talk to company Jamieson, which makes the nutraceutical medicines, nutraceutical capsules and stuff.
Okay.
We came here in 2011, and I visited the first time. Prince George came to see her parents. At the same time, my wife's sister was also visiting with her boyfriend.
Yeah, from India.
No, so they were from Jordan.
Okay.
So he's a U.S. diplomat.
Okay.
Before he was in the Air Force, so he was like they were traveling, and so they were visiting here at the same time from Jordan.
Okay.
And they decided to ask, and he decided to ask her hand from my father-in-law.
Yeah.
My Shobha's sister's hand.
Very formal, huh?
Yeah. So.
But did he say no?
No.
He said that was okay?
He said it was okay.
Okay, that's a good thing, right?
I know.
Yeah.
And what it did to me...
You asked him too for the other daughter. Yeah.
It put all of the energy into me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do it.
What do I do now?
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I got so excited. I went to him and asked, and he asked me one question.
Yeah.
Did you ask my daughter? And I said, oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's kind of an important part of it. Not necessarily in the religion, because a lot of times the family's already organized.
That's true, yeah.
And then you haven't even seen her. I'm not saying that is good, bad, or whatever.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, probably it's a good thing, but I don't know. So yeah.
So I went to her. I said, like, okay, I just asked a very important question. Sorry, I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
And she was confused. She's like, maybe not. I said, don't say no.
Yeah.
Don't say no.
Why don't you wait a few years, right?
Yeah. We were dating for almost 2.5 years. We were living together in India as well. So I wasn't scared, but she wanted a she didn't want to be like that. It just coming out, asking her parents, and then asking her at the same time, but like without any.
Yeah.
Because I was stressed out.
Yeah.
I was sweating. I said, I just asked your father.
Yeah.
Would you please marry me?
Yeah. So you had to kind of start from square one, right?
I know.
Say, what's your name?
Sagar.
Sadar? How do you spell it?
Sagar.
Sadar, I've been thinking about, we've been together now for 2.5 years and I love you. I've been thinking about, help me here, give me some guidance, go like this or yes is good enough, and then saying, I kind of like to marry you and I have to ask your dad. What do you think? Should I ask your dad?
Yeah, that should have been better.
Yeah,
approach.
Would have been better. Right?
Yeah, I know, instead of just jumping in.
But you survived it,
I
right?
survived it.
Because you could have gone back and her dad said yes and she said no. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. No, I survived it. But there's a twist in the story. Like a lot of, I don't know how much you know about Indian culture. There's a lot of arranged marriages happens.
Yeah.
A lot of families have like that power over the children to say, okay, no, you're not marrying. We would like you to marry this individual.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I know that from people that I've known in the Indian communities, the Punjab and other places. That's quite a tradition. Now, to a certain extent, I've seen that in Holland as well. I was born in Holland, and where there was kind of an expectation that you would ask the dad, of the bride or the potential girlfriend to become the wife, if it was okay to ask her to get married.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and and that's kind of the way they did it there, is saying that I would like to, your permission to ask your daughter to marry me,
Yeah, and it was for us, like it was difficult because my father didn't want us to get married. did not
want you to get married.
No, did not want to get married with Shobha.
Oh, why not?
Because she's 4 years older than me.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, wise girl coming with me. So
Yeah.
just but in our culture, like that also seen as I don't know, like it's a traditional family coming out, and I got a lot of backlash from my family. I was like,
For the age difference?
Yeah, for the age difference, but also that she's not from India.
Yeah.
She's born and raised in Canada.
Oh,
how
was she not Indian background? Or?
She is Indian background. She has.
Yeah.
She is
But he was
Indian
born
Canadian.
here.
She was born here, but like I think she knows more about tradition of India than I do. So, but I still can't figure it out why my dad did not. So we eloped. We got married here.
Have you got kids?
2 kids.
How many?
Yeah, 2.
2? Boy, girl?
1 girl and 1 boy.
What's the name?
So boy's name is Samanyu.
Samanyu.
Yeah. And
why so difficult? No,
I know.
I'm just joking. Why not just John? No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
Always,
the girl's name?
Girl's name is Saranya.
And how old are they?
So boy is Samanyu is 10 years old.
Yeah.
And Saranya is 3 years old.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah. It's a good age.
Now the age difference, that I think is a good thing. Actually, that with all due respect to my friends, the other boys or guys tend to be more immature, than women usually are. The women like this, what I'm saying now. It takes them time to grow up.
That's true. Yeah.
Some of them for a long time, actually. And so, in any event, So okay, so there we are. Now we are back in Canada.
Yes.
And you kind of seem to have that kind of an entrepreneurial thing with you. So you go from, doing a number of things in India. And then the other thing that I'm hearing you talking about is, because there's so much corruption, you had that sense of fairness and honesty that sometimes is a problem, especially if you work in a society that is inherently corrupt.
That's true.
Is part of so that would not go well.
Yeah,
So then you came in a way back to Canada.
No, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna fast forward it.
Okay.
Because I think I'm going in all the different stories.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries.
So what happened is we got married 2011. We came here May 31st. We got married here at the house, Prince George.
Yeah.
Then we went back. We decided we're not gonna tell our parents, my parents, for a little bit, then friends, until everything settles down.
Yeah.
We went. We were living in 2 different places.
Yeah.
Over the time, I gave up after 15, 20 days.
Yeah.
I said they're not gonna understand, and I left my parents' house. I was 26.
Yeah.
But in India, we all lived together. So I left. We moved in together, and then in September. My father talked to my father-in-law. He's like, okay, let's get them married.
Yeah.
So we had another traditional wedding in India.
Okay, so that was more sanctioned, agreed on by
societal.
Yeah,
like
so
society
brought the
has to
family
stamp
back
it.
together.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
And then in 2012, Shobha came here. She was pregnant in early 2012.
Yeah.
She came in March or April to deliver our son here.
Yeah.
So she had like a 3 months of time with her parents.
Yeah.
In 2012 June, what ended up happening is after 3 days of her son was born, she ended up having a stroke. It was called cerebral venous thrombosis.
Ooh.
So she had 2 major strokes in the brain.
Ooh.
And what it did is basically she was out cold in a induced coma for 72 to 78 hours.
Ooh.
And that basically flipped our lives.
Yeah.
But that also brought us to Canada.
Yeah.
We never planned to come to Canada because we felt settled with I was doing multiple things. I had my business.
Yeah.
Shobha was running entire operation, like entire charitable foundation in India. That particular incident or medical incident what it did, it basically put us into a spot where I was coming back and forth. I ended up staying here 6 months after our child was born because my wife needed me. It took her 1 year to come out of even start writing because her body, it just
was that the result of I'm not asking for a medical opinion, but was it the result of the birth or that she got the stroke, or you don't really know
we don't
why?
even know. Like there's case studies
because she's young and strong
she was 30, so she came out fast of when our son was born, but mostly it clots travel to your knee or up till here, doesn't travel to your brain. So slowly we started figuring it out, like what is our next approach is going to be. My business started fainting because I was here for most of the time, and over there it's more about relationship in the rural communities. Shobha is not there. I am not there.
Not good.
It was a team
so
effort.
You had to make a major decision.
Made a major decision
come
in
to
2014. I had to shut down my company.
And start all over again.
In
Prince George.
Yeah.
Good place though.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. Now you're with your wife. And the kids. You still had only one.
We still had.
And she was doing okay.
She was doing okay, and then
on the mend.
Yes. It took her 1 year, and then after that, like she decided that she has had enough of everything. She doesn't want to. She wants to spend time with her child. And with the family. She doesn't want to work. She's like, I'm not, because like I just came out of
wants to be focused on the family.
Focus on the family. I want to be with my child and focus on what is right now. At that time, I was so new that it was difficult for me to find even open the door to a bank and then ask them if I can get a job as a teller. I had an MBA, I had an entrepreneurial background. Good history.
Speak fluent English.
Not fluent, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So
that sounds good to me. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything.
No.
Like people didn't want to, because everybody said you don't have a Canadian experience. What I did, because for 5-6 months I couldn't figure out. For this 5-6 months, I wanted to basically give up. I said like it's not working out. I think I'm gonna go back to India, start everything from start what we left there. And Shobha, like we'll just basically try to figure it out if the doctors let us go. And then we found out that she shouldn't go for next 2 years because she was an anti-seizure med. She was on like the blood thinners every single day. And
she needed the medical support.
And then the best medical support is here in our Northern Health. Not there. This is, we are so glad that she ended up
here
in the health situation here and not in India. So after that, like I was getting bored in the house and I was like, I need to do something. One of Shobha's family friends said like, oh, I do a delivery, not delivery, but paper. Newspaper route, like which you basically, you have a bundle, you just drop
something, right?
I'm doing something. My mom got found out and mom said like, you're gonna come back right now. You didn't go there to drop newspapers. After all you went through, after your MBA, after you have, we have invested so much in your education and like, it's not okay. I said, Mom, it's making me humble. It is making me humble and I need that. You are not making me humble by saying that don't do the job. None of the jobs in this world is small or big. And then I started basically opening the doors. I started going to chamber events, started going to UNBC events, and without even invitation.
Get to know the community.
Get to know the community, but like it's also like it's all of them comes with like invitation. So I just go online, find out, and I just stand there. So a lot of people just let you in. I said like, I'm just here to sit down. I'm not gonna touch your food, not gonna eat food, not gonna drink water. I just want to learn. Just want to learn the ethics, just want to learn the business, just want to learn people. I'm new to the country and I'm so eager. I'll volunteer, I do anything. And they let me volunteer at Chamber. So that opened so many doors.
Chamber of Commerce?
Chamber of Commerce here in Prince George.
Did you work for them then?
No,
I was just as a board.
Just as a committee. So I used to be in committee members. We used to be a committee member. I chair the committee as well.
Yeah.
One of the committee. And then Christy that time, she's a wonderful human. Like I met so many wonderful human beings. Yeah. And she started connecting me. So second job was Primerica. It's an insurance company who gave me a data entry position, Excel.
Right.
And I was like, I can easily do it.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
it's
part
like
of what you trained for, right?
We'll give you $15 an hour. I said, like, it's not about money.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's not about money. It's just me learning, just me understanding everything.
Now we're in 2015?
We are in 2014 still.
Okay.
And then the same kind of events, I connected with the vice president of University of Northern British Columbia.
Yeah.
Her name was Ranjana. And then she asked me, my current business partner here in Prince George, he was the one who brought me to Ranjana and introduced me. It's like, his name is Sagar. And then she asked me, what do you do? I said, like, I drop newspapers. Yeah. It's like, what? It's like, it's like, how much you have studied? I said, I have MBA and everything. So why are you not working in the banks? Why are you not working in industry? There's so many jobs. Yeah. I said, nobody wants to give me a job because I don't have Canadian experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she said, like, come to my office. I'm looking for someone to look after the partnerships. And you seem to be a wonderful, I've been watching you, networking around. You seem to be a good fit. Why don't you come and then we'll just figure it out?
Yeah.
That's how I got a part-time job at UNBC in the research office, and then rest is history.
So how long were you there at UNBC?
So I was there from 2014, mid of 2014, till 2016 October.
Yeah, and then you took other courses there as well? Or
no, I
just working as support.
As a research, so I was doing a position called University Industry Liaison Officer, which connects the researchers and research to the industry, and then creates funding, a stream out of it. Right. I have done couple self-initiated projects that basically I brought it up to the research community and the researchers, and it has brought in some funding as well. And agriculture, I was working on a bioenergy project where you put like hemp and elephant grass as a energy source. So that was also my India knowledge that I was trying to build here, bringing through UNBC. But yes, 2016 I left university. I was hitting the wall of the growth, and I decided to that's not the right place because I don't want to sit at only one desk for next.
So you had to now make a decision. You had added more skill sets to and knowledge to you as so you want from there to where?
Then I was headhunted again by I was approached by School District 91, which is in the Chaco Lakes. Vanderhoof, Fort St. James, Fraser Lake, and Burns Lake.
That is not the Prince George region, but it is the just west of Prince George. Right?
So they approached me that we found out that you are not working with the university anymore. We have worked with you in the past, and we would like you to come and join us. We are looking for somebody to look after all the partnership activities, but not regional, but extra regional partnership activities, partnership with SFU, UBC, UNBC, creating more opportunities. One of my partnership, our students went to Moon Base Camp in Utah, and spent a week and a half within the base camp. So these kind of partnerships that I created, more innovative, more unique, more hands-on experiences for the students. So they think. There's more diversity. There's more diversification around our economy, bringing in the new opportunities and resources with the thought process that we can create.
Okay, so you joined them in 2014.
2016 of October. Yeah. And then I worked there till 2020 of June. In 2020 May, just during the COVID. 2020 of May, my mom passed away in India. I was there. I rushed to India in in January, and just got back before all the borders started shutting down in March. And I couldn't even go back when my mom passed away. There was cremation and everything. I couldn't even go back for
How old
anything.
Was he?
So it was everything was there, and there was a big shock for me.
How old was she?
She was 66.
Not very old.
No.
No.
And
medical system not very good there.
It is good, but like because of the privatization, it is expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of time, what happens is like when somebody catches something, it's too late already.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with my mom. By the time we found out that she had this particular health issue, it was late, and then it was only 6 months by the time she was gone.
Yeah, preemptive is not very good, right?
It's not that good. So 2020, it was an eye opener for me. I just went into. I was struggling that time for a long time, like after my mom passed away with mental health.
Yeah.
Because I went into totally quiet. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Then we found out that my wife was pregnant.
Yeah.
With our third.
Yeah.
No, sorry, my 2019 we had a daughter.
Yeah.
In St. Paul's because of my wife's medical history. We were recommended to go to St. Paul's for the delivery.
To be in St. Paul is one of the major hospitals in Vancouver.
Yes.
Specializing in those areas,
yes.
right?
Yeah. Beautiful staff.
And that went well?
That went well. So fast forward to 2020, it's we found out my wife was pregnant, and we lost our baby in August 2020.
Oh, no. Yeah.
5 months. And St. Paul's was the place. We were in Vancouver, and then found out the baby doesn't have a heartbeat. And we delivered, my wife delivered baby which was not breathing.
Yeah.
So that put me quite a bit into a major difficult time, and I just decided not to. I want to spend time with my family, my kids, and there's so many dads.
Yeah.
And then another piece came back is like my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer.
Yeah.
Right in September.
Oof.
My mother, I lost my mother in May.
Yeah.
August we lost our baby, and then September I found my.
Not easy, is it?
So it was a series of events which led to.
Did your dad pass away?
No, he's good now.
Okay.
He's doing better. He's still
lung cancer.
Lung cancer is still doing better.
But
that's I'm slowly coming out of all the depression.
Yeah.
I went into depression. I just didn't want to talk to people, didn't want to meet people. And for me, like I'm a people's person. I like to talk. I love talking. I love meeting. I love knowing people.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back slowly, gradually. It's coming out of everything. And since then, in 2021, I incorporated a company with some co-founders, a technology-based company in Vancouver. We have an investment corporation which is only focused on impact-based investments.
Focused on what?
Impact. Impact-based in startups and companies. So we invest money into social and environmental impact companies. And that's what my entire work is around. My life revolves around social and environmental impact.
Okay.
So I put more emphasis and more focus on those areas.
So what does that do then? You're looking at companies, private companies that focus on those areas?
Yes. So I'll just give you an example. There's a company based out of Victoria.
Yeah.
It's a indigenous owned company.
Indigenous?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's One Feather Technologies, which has like a voting platform. They have status card renewal. They are getting into fintech as well.
Okay.
So I invested. That was my first investment as a private investor back in 2018.
Yeah.
That I felt that there's a need that they are filling in the community, and especially with the indigenous communities.
Right.
And the recent one we did is like electric bus manufacturing company. which provides services and the buses to underdeveloped or developing countries right now. So it's a mix of two different worlds: social impact and environmental impact at the same time.
Right. And so that's what you're doing now. So you have the one company. Are you adding other companies to that? And where does the money come from to fund those organizations?
So a lot of money, initial money, comes from the founders who have started the company, the funders, like initial funders. So we are right now finishing internal funding first before we go out and then raise other funding at this point. But it's mostly self-funded. It's a risky, as you definitely know how risky of it, like when you put some money in and then you just wait for the right moment and right opportunity that it's gonna click. But I have seen like 2 failed businesses, so it's more for me is a risk taking more than anything. Like it's like a calculated risk, not just risk, because of the experience and the learning over the time.
And then the other thing that I saw that you were involved in is in Bitcoin related issues. And now Bitcoin again, has taken a bit of a dive. Not overly well understood by a lot of people, but there are different elements to Bitcoin.
So we were not directly connected to Bitcoin, but we were connected to cryptocurrency somewhere.
Which is directly related
to Bitcoin. So up and down, all the movement happens like it's related to Bitcoin as well. So we were building a game. So this game is about movement. So it's about health. It's about wellness. So we were 80% finished our game before we decided to shelf it because of the market crash. And the Bucky Technologies, which is another company, I'm a president of this company, and I have co-founders who take care of everything, who have more knowledge about technology than I do. What we were doing is like I was movement based, like so when you walk, like it basically creates the reward system. But so instead of getting like just points, you collect cryptocurrency over the period, and then you can basically convert into real life, real world money. And what else it does is like we were into NFTs as well, because we were raising our funds. We wanted to raise our funds so we can finish the product and then take it down further to like international market and everything. But before we launch it, that was supposed to be May the 12th, market crashed. And with the market crashed, big time. And then what was the first call from my end is like, stop. We're not going to do any investor money. We're not going to bring any investor money because I don't know. And we as a team don't know like how the world is going to go from here. So what we decided after like 2 weeks of thinking out how it's going to work, this is going to work, we said like, just stop. Shelf it. We'll pull it out when the market is good. Our product is already 80% complete. We just have to have more game developers to complete it. And that was the cryptocurrency piece. But I'm very new. I'm trying to understand, but I can't wrap my head around it. But it's a complicated and very, very complicated thing.
There are a lot of people are investing in Bitcoin-related vehicles. And then some of them really, really big when they go into mining. Bitcoin mining, that means a whole field of machines is sitting there which require a lot of power. It's probably the main thing to Bitcoin.
For me, like I prefer not to go towards the mining side of things because it takes electricity and it takes a lot of resources which we don't need to create.
Meaning money?
Not money, but like the electricity, the resources which are used in the mining activities, the instruments, the machineries, everything, like the amount of heat it produces.
Right.
It's not good for our environment. Like so, there's
the amount of heat it produces because of the machines.
The machines
that
running
are running
24/7. Yeah, it's just it's not a sustainable model.
Yeah.
But people do it.
They're all programs.
They are programs, yes.
Yeah, to do it automatically, right?
Yes.
So I see there is one here. I don't know if it is running or not. There's some in Mackenzie, some of other places where people. There's a company, I'm forgetting the name of it, Iris, out of Australia or something. You know, that is into that big time.
Yeah, so that's everything in that world is changing too, which is good. We are evolving, we are learning, we are making everything better. I didn't touch on another piece which is a really passion of mine. It's a youth entrepreneurship.
A what?
Youth entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So it's a passion for me that really helps me connect with the next generation of our entrepreneurs, our change maker, our innovators in the smaller, especially in the rural and smaller communities like Prince George, Vanderhoof, Terrace, Prince Rupert. I'm also a part of, when I was at School District 91, I was also looking into entrepreneurial ecosystem building.
Right.
So I was trying to build something, and same thing with UNBC, I was trying to build the same thing, which I carried with me to Nechako Lakes.
Yeah.
And that's how I connected with the organization called Yell Canada. So Yell.
How do you spell it? C-E-L?
Y-E-L-L. Y-E-L-L.
Okay.
Yell Canada. So Yell Canada, what it does, like it basically it has like entrepreneurship 12 programming for grade 10s, 11, 12s in all this high schools, public schools basically, which is a BC approved course, and it also creates our next generation change makers and entrepreneurs. Okay. So I tagged along with them, and I basically worked with them to apply for funding, and then BC government gave us like $250,000 to do a pilot project. We did in Nechako Lakes.
Did you do one there?
Yes, Nechako Lakes.
$250,000?
Yeah. $250,000. So we ran that, we hired somebody, and then that individual that quit the job. And we also, like, at that same time, I was working on the federal funding to create the ecosystem around youth entrepreneurship. Yeah. So we got more funding from federal, and on top of our BC government funding. And we couldn't find anyone to work on that position. So the founders were thinking of returning the money. Yeah. I was like, no. Once the money comes in the north, if you return it, it won't come back for the same cause. And that's what made me basically take the entire turn in my career. So I chose running the Yale North. We call it Yale North operations. Yeah. So that's how, like, I have a team of three individuals, the business owners, the consultants. Yeah. They work with me. They have same passion towards youth entrepreneurship. Yeah. Before bringing the youth entrepreneurship, there was another event that I founded, was iCubed Summit. So iCubed means invention, innovation, and integration. Okay. And that summit basically brings in the students together for a day of like motivational speakers, entrepreneurial journeys, and multiple different fun activities that they get to see. Yeah. They don't get to see in the north, but they get to see in the larger centers. So iCubed Summit, we reach out to our
youth entrepreneurship.
Youth entrepreneurship. Yeah. But it's not just about youth entrepreneurship. It's also about workforce development. It's also about letting students know their opportunities in the rural communities. Yeah. It's also about youth retention, economic development. So it covers a lot of things. Like, youth is our next generation of workforce, no question, of those business owners, of those like change makers, politicians. Yeah. So it's important for them to have the similar or the similar kind of opportunity resources in the smaller Northern BC communities than as they get in Vancouver or Kelowna or anywhere in the bigger centers.
Right.
So that was the reason of bringing in the iCube Summit to the fold, and it reaches close to 1,500 students all across Northern BC, Yukon, and Thompson Okanagan.
So what does that look like? You got an organization that has dialogue with them, or how do you interact with them?
So what happens, we bring in the series of speakers, keynote speakers, panel of speakers.
In particular locations, or?
In particular locations. We have speakers from coming from Kelowna, coming from Vancouver, coming from all the parts of Yukon, coming from Northern BC.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of a diverse speakers and entrepreneurs, leaders from different communities to come in and then speak.
Inspiring them
about the future, inspiring them about the sector they are working in, inspiring them about the retention of the youth within the communities and how the effect is like. It basically, once you drop the rock in the lake, it has that effect that touches all the surrounding communities.
So give me an example then, if there are people that are watching this and they like to become involved in that, how do they go about that? And do you have certain groups that meet at a particular place or time, or
no? So we reach out. We always look for mentors and speakers to go and speak in the classes, to mentor our students as well. For iCube Summit, what we do is we reach out to people, to sponsors, to sponsor the event. So we have one event coming up with 150 students coming from Cornell, Nechako Lakes, and Prince George together at Civic Center on November 8th.
So how many would you have? How many people would be there?
Close to 200.
Oh, wow.
200 people coming in for the full day, packed off.
And very structured in terms of
so it's
the topics?
Yeah, its topics will be there. We will talk about economic development. We'll talk about tech.
Yeah.
We'll talk about running your own business, creativity. We'll talk about culture. We'll talk about
financial.
everything. We have exhibitors that are coming out to support us. And it's all the people who are coming out, they're already championing the youth entrepreneurship. So it's really, it makes a big difference when people are there with the same passion.
And so what would be the age group?
So grade 9, 10, 11, and 12.
So you recruit them through the school district more than anything?
Yes. It's easier that way. Like students come with all the teachers, and then they have fun, and then they go back home with all the thoughts, opportunities in their head.
Is that under the umbrella of which group that does it?
It's under it's in a partnership. So iCube Summit works in the partnership with Yale Canada.
Right.
So they work jointly together. But iCube Summit is a standalone event, which basically does which has a reach way beyond Northern BC.
Right.
As well, but mostly focused on rural communities.
So that's the most of your business now that you're doing?
It is a passion, and it is something which drives my other businesses as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it has good potential because, as you said, that's where the future is.
That's the future is, and I get to, I'll maybe in 5-10 years, I'll get to work with the same youth entrepreneurs or the people or the students who are coming out and staying in our communities. So it's a selfish reason as well to work with them.
So if I kind of look back, Sagar, you've had a challenging road, in India, and then obviously had several challenges, but already quite entrepreneurial there, and then obviously, ended up in Prince George. You met your wife here, or was
in India?
In India, and then and that was a challenge, and both of you together had challenges, and but you seem to be very positive about going forward. Obviously, you had to kind of sit back as a family, as an individual, and deal with those hardships, and which is part of life, but also have taught you a lesson
yes.
that is valuable to you as you work with young people in particular. That how do you go dealing with challenges that happen along the way,
Yep.
and then kind of start all over again, from the ground up, and and then kind of move forward from, in particular, being in Prince George. It has so much opportunity here.
So many, yes.
Yeah, and in particular, certainly this is the location, especially if you look at it from, I've been all over the world. You have been to a certain extent, obviously, as well. I look at Europe now, and Russia, Eastern Europe, the Ukraine, and then India certainly has their challenges, and will have for some time to come, because obviously there are flaws in the system. Although it is the largest democratic country in the world, it still has issues. China does, Russia does, United States does, but then blessed us, we live in Canada, and then in the nicest place in Canada is British Columbia, and the nicest place in British Columbia certainly must be Northern British Columbia, and the city is Prince George.
Definitely.
So I think you have great potential. I love the entrepreneurship, and I appreciate you being my guest.
Thank you so
much.
Wish
you luck. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.